Okay.
We're live?
Yes, we are.
Hey everyone! Anybody joining us now or sprinting later? Hello. Um, we're just doing reading sprints today. So if you didn't know, Kara and I do a readathon in January for the how long have we been doing this? 4 years?
It's like at least 4. This could even be the 5th. I think it's 4. Let's go with 4.
Yeah. Because I know I did it by myself for a year before I brought you in and made it like actually a readathon of like just reading short things so we can like feel accomplished first thing in the year when everything and even now, especially where I can't like concentrate on really long books right now, it's very nice to just pick up something short and get it out of the way. Yeah. So since we're on Kara's channel, I don't know if everybody knows who I am. So I'm Kelly from Cozy Reader Kelly. And then you probably know who Kara is if you're here.
And Kelly is also already linked in the description along with our announcement videos if you want to hear more about the readathon. Yeah, as Kelly said, very straightforward, reading short things in January. We do have some prompts if you like them, but you don't have to use them, obviously.
Yeah. I don't even really like use them like that often. I mean, I'm doing the things, but not necessarily checking them off on the bingo board at this point. I'm just like, I'm reading short things and then I'll see where I fill in later.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing is like, I'm technically completing prompts, but I'm not like tracking.
Yeah, I feel like we've done like I think we've been pretty casual and like I make it because sometimes people like to have something to like feel accomplished, like, oh, I made a whole row, but I'm like, whatever. Oh, I figured it out finally how to put the link. I think.
Awesome.
But
and it's also nice to have prompts like just to have a starting point because like especially like I have also mentioned many times like I'm just struggling to read more right now. And so it's really nice to have prompts that can kind of like focus what I'm thinking of reading. That has been super nice. So
yeah, I've been feeling that too. Like I feel very sporadic. Like I brought down my pile of things to read during sprints, and it's like I've started so many things because I feel like very like not sure what I'm in the mood for, feeling very like all over the place.
Yep. I did not show up with like 4 options, which is unusual for me. So I pretty much know exactly what I'm going to be reading, but it is not something I talked about in my TBR. So.
Well, that's fine. Are you you usually kind of focus in on things, but like do you usually have like an audiobook because you don't do as many audiobooks? Do you do like different formats or you pretty much just like pick something and read it?
Like that's a good question. I do always have a lot of books going at once. We have talked about this. We both do that. It's not as structured as like I like to have something in every format, but I do kind of tend to get in phases where it's like, all right, I know that audiobooks have been clicking for me better than usual. I'm doing like crafting things or cleaning things, so I know that I will kind of want to have one on deck, like just in case. That said, I don't think I have one right now, which kind of makes sense because I haven't been doing. I'm just starting to do more crafting because of my like hand injury. Crossover with our crafting sprints in case you guys were seeing those. So I guess like the shorter answer of that ramble is like not that structured, but when I'm in the mood for audiobooks, I do like to have one available, I guess.
Yeah. I just like finished my audiobook when I was cleaning this morning, and so now I technically don't have one, and I've had a couple that I was trying to get and they have waits, so I have to figure out what to listen to next.
And then of course I get them. It's like 7 holds come in at once. So.
Yes, I know. And then now with the whole Libby, like I liked it when I could be like, oh, I want it again in a week, because then I'm like, well, I know I'll be done with this book by then, and so it'll come back. Where now you have to remember to go in there and unsuspend it or whatever.
Right.
And I just never remember that until I want it right now. So then when you do that, sometimes it takes 2 days to come in after you've like, put it back on hold, even if you're next in line. So I'm like, oh, I wish it would just like show up again in a week.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's like, why are they fixing things that were already working? Like now it's worse. Thank you.
Well, and they could have, I know they were saying that part of that was because then people might, because you had a while before you had to claim the hold or like.
That's true. That's true.
But they could have just made that time frame shorter. Just say you have like 24 hours to like make a choice about it.
Yeah.
So that it's not like sitting on there. I don't know. And then I am listening to one now, but I'm listening and reading at the same time. I'm doing this one. Have you read this, right? The River Has Roots?
I have not. No.
Okay, not yet. Oh, maybe it was Huck talking about it. I don't know. So I feel like somebody talked about
it. I think Huck was mentioning, that she had read that one. I think.
Yeah, so it's got illustrations. So I'm doing it like tandem reading. So I can't this is not one where I can just then clean and do crafts because I'm also like looking at the book. So it's more like just reading physically, but with sound happening at the same time.
Yeah. Immersive reading physically. Yes.
Yeah. Because I mean, like sometimes I go and do other stuff once I've looked at the pictures because there's only pictures every few pages, but it also it's flowering enough that I have to like sometimes go back and check if I have just been listening and doing something else. I'm like, wait a minute, did I miss something? Because I don't know, like I'm getting used to this author's writing, and it might be in the future that she is like a physical only read for me because sometimes I lose track when it's more flowery, Yeah,
I feel that.
Because you don't really have like as much action, like pinpointing things for you. So then it's like, oh, there was a lot of description. So like, what is actually happening right now?
Right. Well, and also just like sentences tend to be longer and have more like stuff in them. So like I find this when I'm reading classics too, is like, especially with some authors, like not all classic authors from like Victorian era, like sort of around there, like not all of them obviously write the same way or have the same kind of style, but there is like a very particular kind of wordiness that I think was like very popular then. And there are some authors where it's like by the time we get to the end of the sentence, I forgot what was happening. Like I don't know who we were describing. I don't know if somebody was actually talking. Like I don't know. So yeah, like and I tend not to do classics on audio unless I like really need to or really have to, because like for that reason. I just it's hard for me to track stuff.
I feel like that sometimes, and it like makes a difference the speed I listen to as well with classics. Like my friend and I, we listen to we buddy read a classic over like several months, and usually when I like listen with her, I'm at like one speed, like normal speed or like just slightly above, because I can't do faster because usually it's accent, like even if it's just an English accent, it's still different.
Yeah, like I have that too, where any like different accent, it just like takes longer to sort of put things together. Like, yeah, I get that.
Yeah. And then it's like the classic writing. So it's like all of that combined, I just need it to go slower so I can process it as it goes. Yeah. So those do just take me longer on audio, but we like to do it on audio so that we can we don't have to worry about having different editions. We pick the exact same audio narration. We're like, we stopped at this point,
Yeah, that's true. It is hard to coordinate editions like that.
Yeah, because if you have two different editions of classics, there's so many, you could be like, well, we're gonna read till like page 100, but then my page 100 is different than hers. I mean, I guess you could do chapters, but the book we're reading right now doesn't have chapters, so it's like you got to go by the time, or else we will just be like. I mean, there are times when they switch narrators, so you could say like, oh, we'll go until we switch to this narrator, but sometimes that's like hours of time,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So do you have any thoughts about how much reading you want to do? Like, should we be like, go ahead and jump into a sprint right away so that we can like get in a lot of reading, or are you in more of a chatty mood? Like what are your thoughts for the schedule?
actually.
You what? Sorry?
It'll be good if like we have people going in late to see. Yeah. So oh no.
I was trying to see if
like internet just decided to do something weird, but it says it's working.
Yeah, you're kind of going in and out a little bit, but like you come back.
Okay, are we back?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Sorry. That's so weird because like the connection. Okay. Yeah, sorry about. I don't know why that's happening. Like the connection is like perfect and it's like everything's going great and like it acts like it. So okay. Anyway. I am good to start reading or we want to. I'm like in kind of a reading mood.
Oh no. I was like, I think you froze
Sorry,
again.
I don't know what's doing this.
Well, maybe it needs a little time. Like if we read for a little bit and then maybe it'll come back. Yeah, I don't think it's because it's on your channel, so it probably is your internet. Oh no. Hopefully we didn't lose Kara completely. Well, while we're waiting for if anybody is watching, go ahead and start reading and we'll see when Kara gets back in here.
Okay. We'll be back.
Okay.
Sorry, everyone.
It's okay.
Yeah, like I was saying, there's no problem on my end that should be causing that. Anyway.
Who knows? Well, let's go ahead and
Kelly, would you like to lead us?
How about do we want to read for like just start with 15 minutes, like or whatever, or go till 3?
Yeah.
I guess if we went to like 3, like it would be 1 your time, but like 3:30, 3:40, that would give us like 20 minutes.
Sprint till. Yeah, so sprint until 30 or 40. I'm fine with either.
Let's do 40 and then.
Okay.
We'll see if your internet is cooperating afterwards.
Yeah. We're testing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Let's do that. And we will check in after.
Hello.
Sorry, I was.
No, you're fine. I just finished a chapter, so it was perfect timing.
So what are you reading? You said you have one thing you're focusing on?
Yeah, so I realized also after we started the actual sprint, I was like, oh, I never even mentioned it. I was just like, I'm going to be reading stuff. So I'm reading The Small and the Mighty by Sharon McMahon, 12 Unsung Americans Who Changed the Course of History from the Founding to the Civil Rights Movement. It's not a short nonfiction, but the structure makes it, I think, really suited to the readathon because like it's in chapters that read almost like smaller profiles or essays. But I'm really liking it. And it's really interesting because there's like a couple of writing style choices that are not like my favorite, but I really like a lot of other things about it. Like I really like that a lot of the people she's focusing on are people who had a huge impact in smaller communities than we tend to think of as like they're not people on the national stage necessarily, but they made a huge difference for a lot of people. And I think that's really cool. Yeah, so I'm really liking it. And it also seems like a good mood to kind of start the year with, more hopeful and stuff. So yeah, really good so far.
Yeah, I do have that one on my shelves. I didn't put it on my TBR this month, but some point this year I would like to read it. You know that she's from here, right? Like she lives in Duluth.
I didn't. That's so cool. I'm
yeah, I don't know.
Now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've never like seen her out and about, but she does live in my town.
But she does live here. Yeah.
I could run into her.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I didn't actually know anything about her. Like I know that she's got like a really big like social media presence that's kind of like where she got like popular and everything, but I didn't know anything about like her or like her podcast or anything. So I think she has a podcast, but
yeah, I don't know. I do follow her on Instagram, and because I do think I started following her like years ago because before I even moved to Duluth, and because like she just tells things so like teaches about what government and like all stuff, and makes it very layman's terms, like easy to understand. And then when I moved here, I was like, oh wait, I've been following her for years, and she's here. And so it's, if you want to know, like she's really focusing on what's happening, obviously in Minnesota right now. So if you want to check out more, she is posting a lot right now about things that are going on. So
yeah, I definitely am gonna look into the other stuff that she's known for. Like I really like how like in the book she's gotten, I don't know how to explain it. There's like a few things that she addresses that I think are really hard to hit that like middle ground. Like for example, when she's talking about like Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois having like, they're both Black thinkers, but they're having extremely different views of what the African American community like should be doing or like could be doing to sort of like get more equal rights that they should have. And I thought she did a really good job of like talking about that in a way that is like nuanced, where she's like, there have been a lot of criticisms of Booker T. Washington, for example, of basically saying like encouraging Black people to make themselves more palatable, like it's like respectability politics and all of that. And she's like, and so if that's how you feel, like that is completely valid. That is true. Also, there's this other piece of it where like he and some of the other activists who are working kind of within that framework, they were also like understandably viewing things as like, well, whatever the big like philosophical discussions going on, like these kids need schooling, like we need to help them like learn and get educated and get jobs and stuff like that. And so it's like, we're not going to ignore that because of like the I don't know how to say it. Like, we're not going to ignore that in favor of having like a big philosophical argument, because these kids need help now.
Yeah.
So anyway, just stuff like that. Like, I thought she did a really good job of like balancing that kind of thing. Because obviously there's a lot of things like that that come up in history where it's like, you know, very nuanced issues or things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably should have put that on my TBR for this month, because you can split it up into chunks to instead of reading it all at once. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and it's cool too, because like she has the like the 12 figures that she like focuses on, but there's also chapters where like it'll start out being about somebody else, and then she ends up connecting it to like one of the 12 people that she's talking about. So I feel like you learn even more about like you learn about even more people, which I think is really cool. So yeah. And I do like her writing style. Like, I realized it was sounding maybe like overly critical. She just does this thing that I personally don't love in nonfiction, where it's like it's like describing stuff that we have no way of knowing if it happened, for the sake of like color and personality. So she'll be like, and then she braided her daughter's hair and gave her blah, blah, blah. Like, it's stuff like that, which is like not a big deal, but it is a little distracting to me. But other than that, I am really liking it, and I like her writing and everything. I'm just like a nitpicker about stuff like that. So
yeah, it's like it's making it more narrative, but then it's not like I've seen that in some nonfiction. Yeah, it's like, okay, but we don't know that happened, but it does make people more people. Like, you know, it adds that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
exactly. So and I love like nonfiction that has like personality in the writing. I really like that. Like Emma Southon does that a lot. But like for whatever reason, it bugs me more when it's like it's not just like the way that she words things. It's like saying something happened when it didn't. Like, we don't know that it did, kind of thing. Yeah. So, what were you going to say? I'm sorry. I think
I was just say the one I'm reading is We Will Rise Again. Have you heard of this?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's short stories and essays, so it's a combination of nonfiction and well, I don't know about fantasy, speculative fiction. And my original plan was to like kind of read it throughout the month, but then, you know, it's like what, the 17th of the month, and I've only read the introduction.
It happens.
Yeah, so I was like, well, I'll read the first story. But the introduction was really good. Like, just the introduction itself was good. Like, so I'm sure you've heard of some of these authors. It's like the editors are Karen Lord, Annalee Newitz, and Malka Older. Malka Older has been doing a lot of like, she has like a novella collection that's like really popular right now. So you might have seen those around. I can't think what they're called, because they always have like really long names.
Yeah.
So I have to look up one, but like, and so they're all like kind of science fiction writers. And then they wanted to write The Mimicking of Known Successes is the one.
Okay, yes, I do recognize that.
And all of her novellas have long names. But yeah, they're all sci-fi writers, but they wanted to put together a collection that was like inspiring people of a better future, you know, like that fiction can be like a call to action, and like not just a call to action, but like, you know, when you can picture anything, what is that future that you would picture? And then like then it's like connecting that to like essays of activists of how do we get to that future.
Yeah. Well, I really like that setup, so I'm gonna check that out for sure.
Yeah, so I haven't got to, I'm in the first story right now. All I did was read the introduction, but even the introduction was really good. It was a interview with these other authors who had written a short story collection that was kind of had a similar project. It was like about Octavia E. Butler and kind of her influence. And
yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so it was like the editors from that one, and they were all discussing this concept though of like using sci-fi and that speculative fiction to dream for a better tomorrow. And so the concept is really like motivating. And I think right now, part of why I want to pick it up, it even says in the subtitle, it's like stories of protest, resistance, and hope. And I feel like we're in a place where we need hope right now.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, one of the sentences that was like right at the end of the chapter I just read, it was something like no progress comes without struggle, but it doesn't always come from struggle. So like, what's the other ingredient? And it's like, you need struggle and you need hope. And that's how you actually like change things and get things done. So yeah, I very, very much vibing with that. That project. So I'm gonna look into that one for sure. I kind of feel that way a little bit about the Service Berry, which obviously it's nonfiction. It's not, there's no like fictional part to it, but I feel like that combination of like ideals and like ethics and philosophy and all of that, I think she balanced that really well with like, well, here's something you could actually do. So I really like that combination. I think both of those pieces are necessary, especially right now. So I like that a lot.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll finish that story. I made it about halfway through that first short story. But I always feel like when I'm starting if I'm doing a collection that is like multiple authors, I find it takes me a long time to start the short story because I sometimes have to reread the first page more because it's like I'm getting acclimated to the author's style. Because if it's like if I'm reading a short story collection that's all the same author, it's like I've read one, I get your kind of style, I can just move on to the next one. But when it's like different authors, I'm like, okay, this author is going to use a lot of description, or this author is going to get like right in there, put you in the action. So it took me a little bit to like orient myself to this author. And I've never read this author before. So R.B. Limburg, I've never read them before.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes when I read anthologies, I even find myself like, even if I'm reading a few stories in a sitting or like mostly close together, I will still like close the book and just like stop for like a minute to sort of like, okay, that story's done. like I don't actively think of it as like needing to tie that story up, but I think that's what I'm doing is like, all right, and now I have to jump back in and do all the like beginning of a story stuff over again, which is not a bad thing, but it's just like, it's something that you need to like prepare your brain for a little bit. So I get that.
Yeah, which is why I don't usually do short stories on audiobook, because I need to be able to pause and think about this. So often I like it when collections put like a little bit, it sometimes is just about the author, or sometimes the author like telling you their inspiration for that story. I like that because it helps me like, okay, I'm staying in this story for a moment and I'm like taking a moment with this author before I'm moving to a new author.
Yeah, I agree. I like that too.
Yeah. And this one I think does that. Like it has the biographies in the back, but then at the end of the story, I saw that there is an artist statement that's like 2 pages long. So it's like kind of giving their history and why they wrote.
Cool.
This. Oh, and now, okay, I just read the first sentence of their, I don't know the pronouns for this author, but like of their statement, and they're Ukrainian writer, which makes a lot of sense because I was actually thinking of the war in Ukraine, because the story is about this woman who went to a war zone to provide medical assistance and is coming back to her like group, her activist group in her I don't know if they're countries or just like regions, and to like raise more funds to go back. And and when she comes back to tell them, I need more money, they're like, oh, there's new wars over here, we're no longer going to help them, we're going to go and help them. And it's kind of like that, well, you know, that we forget about the old war, we're starting, there's new things to help. And
that's like the news cycle and like almost so, like what do they call it, with like new seasons for like collections, and like it's so messed up.
Yeah, and so it makes sense. So then while I'm reading this, I was thinking, well, this is a commentary on people forgetting about Ukraine, right? Like that's what I was like assuming, and then seeing that the author is Ukrainian, so makes sense that, like, you know, it was such a big thing in the news, and now it's becoming less of a big thing in the news because there's so much else happening. But I'm like, these people are still needing our help, you know?
Yeah, it's like, I think it's not that there isn't still coverage and information about it, but I think without realizing it, people sometimes assume that if it's not in the news anymore, it must be not as bad as it was. You know, it's like, well, that it must at least be improving a little, or they would still be talking about it. And it's like, that's not how that happens. Like with Gaza as well, is like, it's not like, just because you're not hearing about it doesn't mean that things have gotten better, unfortunately.
No, it's just because people are becoming desensitized by it and are just moving on to the next.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think this will be one that'll be good to like split up and just read like one spaced out, because I feel like they're going to be very thought provoking.
Right. Yeah, definitely sounds like it just from that one.
Yeah. And that's even the first story. So if I finish that one in the next sprint, then I'll probably move on to something fiction like that I'm reading, because I've got like 3 different fiction books I'm reading right now too. So.
Yeah. I know, I'm still chipping away at Vanity Fair, so I feel you. Like
yeah.
Yeah. I'm like making good progress, but
when do you have to finish Vanity Fair?
So we haven't confirmed the date for the live show yet, and it was like, we knew when we were like choosing this one, we were kind of planning for it to most likely be a 2-month thing because it is so long. So I think that would put us like around the end of January or beginning of February. So I definitely want to, like, obviously I need to finish it before then. Yeah. And actually, like, it's interesting because when I do actually sit down and read it, it doesn't, like, it reads well. Like, it's it doesn't feel like a slog when I'm reading it, but I think just it being so long, and especially like how many subplots and side characters there are that like I just don't find as interesting as some others. I think like when I'm not reading it, it feels like a slog. So yeah. So that is definitely not for the short stack readathon.
No.
I'm reading. What's that?
And maybe not for today if you're not feeling like getting into that.
Right. Yeah. It's like I'm reading short stack things as a break from Vanity Fair, but I do want to read maybe a little bit of that later today. Yeah. Actually, I was trying to think. I would like to have a shorter fiction book that I could be reading for the readathon, but I haven't really narrowed it down yet. So maybe I'll think about that, and when we come back from another sprint, you can help me decide.
Well, speaking of which, we should, because I want to finish that story. So let's do another sprint. Was that a good amount of time, like 20 minutes, or do you think we should go longer?
Yeah, it was good for me. I also don't mind going a little longer. Like if we wanted to do maybe to the half hour this time, since it's almost exactly the hour right now. But it's up to you. I'm pretty flexible about it.
Yeah, I was just seeing how long. Yeah, that's probably good, because I have a little longer left of the story than I did in the first sprint. So I think that would make sure I finish this story at least.
Cool. Sounds good. And I will brainstorm other things to read.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. All right. We are going to sprint until the half hour. We will see you guys then.
Are you good to come back?
Yes. I feel like there's always that last minute where you're like, well, I can't start reading again, so I'm just going to sit here and like stare at the clock.
I know. I finished a chapter and I was like, 1 minute. I'll just wait for it.
Yeah. So you did get to finish your story?
I finished my story and I read the little author's note, and I realized that I have a I think it either a novel or a novella written by that author on my Kindle. So I should read it because it was a good story. And then I picked up one of the middle grade novels I'm reading, The Beatrice Prophecy, and read a couple chapters in that.
And I do have 2 things that you can help me pick between. So they're both novellas. One of them is A Matter of Execution by Nicholas and Olivia Atwater. So I know we both love Olivia Atwater. And this is like the steampunk sci-fi, not steampunk, sci-fi series that she is writing with her husband, which is really interesting. So this is like the prequel novella that's like the start of the series. And I just haven't gotten to it. I think because like I love her Regency fairy tales so much that I'm a little like nervous to read something so different, but I'll probably like it. Like I can probably. Yeah.
And you wonder how much of it is going to be her and how much of it is going to be her husband. Is that the writing? Yeah.
And maybe because it's like such a different vibe, it will maybe be easier to enjoy it separately from the books that I already love from her. And then the other option I have, this one is steampunk. It's Clockwork Alchemist by Sarah C. Rothel. And it's the first in a series, and it's like a murder mystery, and there's like one of the main characters is an automaton, which I think is super interesting. An automaton who like insists that she has a soul, which I find very interesting. I love stories like that. Yeah, I don't know. So murder mystery, steampunk, shenanigans. I have never read anything by this author before, but I like have this series from her. And I would like to start it so I know if I'm going to like it or if like, I don't know. Great description. I know.
Yeah.
So these are my choices.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they're both good contenders. I mean, I would probably vote for the Atwaters because I would just be curious of her writing in a different genre, and if that was like because that's her husband's chosen genre, or my cat is attacking a box next to me. So sorry.
Classic.
Yeah, it looked like it was shorter too.
Yeah, this one is actually really short. I was just checking, and it's like only 130 pages. So I could probably still get to the other one pretty soon if I decide to. And like I said, I obviously have been wanting to read this, and I've just put it off. So
yeah,
it has been decided. Democracy has spoken. A Matter of Execution. And it'll be nice to have a fiction thing as well. Although like, I feel like I've been reading The Small and the Mighty actually really quickly. So it doesn't feel like, oh, it's a nonfiction I need to take a lot of breaks from, but I think it'll still be nice to have something different. So thank you for your input, Kelly.
Yeah. Did you end up reading some more of The Small and the Mighty too, or just looking?
I didn't. I ended up having very late lunch. So that was mainly what I was doing in addition to picking my book finalists. Yeah, so I haven't read any more of it. But also there was one line early on in the book that I loved, and it was one of the signs that I'm like, okay, I think I am really enjoying this, aside from like my nitpicks about some of the writing choices. One of the lines that she opens a chapter with, oh no, what happened?
Sorry. The cat's knocked the iron over.
No, you're fine. Is everyone okay?
Yeah, no, it's not on, but you know, the water and the iron will come pouring out, so I had to go pick it up.
Okay. Of course. She opens like one of the chapters with something like quite a few of America's worst periods in history, it can be blamed on Andrew Jackson. And I'm like, true. She's like, one of my least favorite presidents. I was like, me too. So cool. I think we're gonna get along philosophically, her and I. So
yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
So true.
Yeah. My cats, like the entire like reading sprint, my cats have just been messing around here. They were like on the windowsill, both. I think there was a dog outside, so they were both like kind of attacking the blinds and looking out. And then they were just both on top of the ironing board. And I've been watching. I was like, well, they haven't knocked over the iron yet. They're just laying on the ironing board. But then they decided to like kind of attack each other and like, yeah.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah. Luckily, like the iron wasn't on, so it didn't like burn the carpet. But like, I keep water in it for like when I'm quilting, so it was full of water.
Yeah.
But
of course, they found the thing to knock over in the room that would actually spill something.
Yeah, of course. They're just acting because I think they know when I'm like on like talking to someone. It's like they want to be like in the room. They're like, we're gonna be in here while you're chatting online.
Yeah. They're like, you have to pay attention to us at least partially while you're doing something else.
Or at least like we'll be like little punks while you do it. Now I don't know what they're doing, but I can still, I think. But oh well.
Yeah. Never a dull moment, huh?
Nope. Cat ownership, you know.
Very chaotic. Like, have you seen that the meme that's like, I don't even know what the context for the original cartoon was, but it's like, if what I think is happening, it better not be. And it's like cat ownership. And I'm like, that's exactly what it is. Like, basically all the time.
Yeah.
Getting like really, really good at recognizing very specific sounds where it's like, I think I just heard somebody knock off a very particular piece of furniture. Like,
so. Yeah. Yeah, we ended up having to, we have like, have you heard of the Zap mat?
I don't think so.
It's like this mat, I don't know, ours is a few feet, like a couple feet wide and a few feet long. And you could put it like, I think a lot of people put it on their counters and it gives like a little shock. So like if a cat jumps on the counter, it gives like just a slight shock, just enough to like scare them away. And we hadn't needed to use it since they were kittens. But my one cat has decided to just like, my daughter has a tendency to just leave her stuff because she, you know, she'll eat a little and then go play and then eat a little.
Oh, yeah.
And he will just like every day, he's like, oh, you have chocolate milk here? And he just jumps up there and he drinks her chocolate milk. He's like getting his paws in her food. And he's doing it so much now that I'm like, okay, we're going to have to get the Zap mat out because they really only get hit by it once and then they like don't go up. They just, you don't even have to turn it on after that. They just like are like, no, I see it there and I'm not going to go on there. So I'm like, gotta get it back out because he keeps eating her food.
Yeah. It's like so weird how like all of a sudden they'll start doing something like that. Like right now, my two boy cats, Petey and Lego, like they've been fine with each other for years. And now all of a sudden there has been, I don't know, it's like they've declared war on each other kind of. So they're like living separately now. And it's like, it's just like, I don't know why. Like they were fine for most of their lives. And then, and like there was some like, you know, occasional fighting like back and forth as cats do. But it wasn't ever this bad. And now it's like they cannot exist in the same space right now. So it's a lot. And it's one of those things that's like just all of a sudden, like, I don't know. And we, like I talked to a like specialist about it and she's been really helpful. And one of the things that she pointed out, which I hadn't thought of, is that like because Lego is now on pain medication and like I didn't know that he had needed it for a while, it's like that could be something where he got set off because some kind of like rough housing that used to be fine now like hurts him, you know? So
yeah,
anyway, it's a whole thing and I sympathize.
Yeah. Oh, and Krista's here.
Hello, Krista. I've talked about your readathon in multiple videos and keep forgetting what it's called. That's okay. Yeah, short stack readathon, but really it's just like lightly participating is the name of the game. That's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, that's like
kind of what we're
right?
yeah. Like we're kind of doing that as the hosts as well. We were talking at the beginning about how like we're not really doing like bingo or anything. It's just like I'm technically reading things that could count for prompts, but not really bothered about it. So
yeah, I'm trying to read like a variety of things. So I finished 3 things so far, and one could count as poetry because it was a novel in verse, and one was like a novel, like a short novel, and one was fairy tales, so that's like short stories. Yeah. So I'm just like trying to cover a lot of different bases, and so
yeah, and it's already been like a huge help in just getting me like into the habit of reading more, which like I definitely need. As I've said a bunch of times, but yeah, it's been really nice. So I'm glad we're doing this again.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I read The Little Prince and I'm reading a poem a day, so I have the poetry covered. Yeah, we were talking about, I think it was maybe our crafting sprints, where like poetry is something that like I always have to remind myself to space it out more, because I get more out of it that way. So like a poem a day sounds really good.
Yeah, I need to start doing that with like breakfast. Read a poem and just think about it, because
or if you're having like coffee or tea, it's like nice to
because I don't like I get up really early because our schools start really early, the elementary school, and so I get up at like 5:30, and then I get the kids up at 6, and because I like pack their lunches, and I usually get myself breakfast before I get them up at 6, and so I don't want to be like listening to something necessarily unless I have my headphones on because it's very quiet in the house. But that would be like a nice time to just sit and like read a poem because nobody would be interrupting me. It would be quiet. I could like read and think about it.
Yeah, I think so too. Krista says, I did pull out The Crucible by Arthur Miller and The Mousetrap by Agatha Christie, and we'll hopefully read those this month. I haven't read enough plays. Yeah, I want to read a play during the month as well. I've gotten out of the habit of doing that more often. Those are both plays that I've sort of had like in the back of my mind as like, I would like to read those someday. So
I know I've gotten The Mousetrap out from the library before and I didn't read it, and it's one that I'm interested in reading because, you know, it's like Agatha Christie but a play, and it wasn't it like the longest running play or something.
Yes, yeah, it was like the longest running. I think it finally did close like a few years ago, maybe more than a few now, but yeah, for the longest time that was like the only thing I knew about, is that it was the longest running play, and it was like more than 100 years, or
I don't know. I remembered it. I would have to look it up, but yeah, I was just like, oh, I should probably read that if it's been running that long.
Poem a day is my New Year's resolution. Hopefully I stick with it. Right now I'm reading Amanda Gorman, and hers are mainly about COVID, which I'm not loving. Yeah, it can be heavy. I really like her poetry, but I definitely think the topics can be rough. Yeah.
Oh, you've seen a couple. I just looked it up. It ran for over 70 years and then a pause during the pandemic.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that should disqualify it.
No, it closed for 1 year during the pandemic, but I mean, that doesn't necessarily call it close. It's just like, you know, we're holding it until.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, Mary Oliver, always a good time. I also really loved Madeleine L'Engle's poetry when I read that a few years ago. And that was actually one that I would read right before bed, and it was like the perfect kind of like meditative poetry. And like some of her poems do have to do with grief, but the majority of them I think are not as like heavy. Yeah, because I do love Amanda Gorman, but I can see how hers are not something that you would always be in the mood for, or in the headspace for.
Especially if you're doing it in the morning. I don't know if you said, Krista, when you read it, you just read a poem a day. But if I was reading at breakfast, maybe like Mary Oliver would be like a nice way to start.
Yeah. I think there's definitely like certain types of poetry that lend themselves more to that. Yeah. And there's some where it's like I want to be fully like awake and focused for it, you know. So yeah. And there's all kinds. So
yeah. And then the one, I don't know if I'm going to go back to reading Beatrice Prophecy or pick up my other novel, which is Paladin's Hope, which is this one I was telling you about. This has the gnolls.
Yeah! Return of the Gnolls.
You have to get back into this. You can.
I know.
Gnolls.
Love me some gnolls.
Yeah. And not just as, I feel like in all of them, they've been characters, but not really been like true characters. They've been kind of just like, not even, I mean, yes, they're kind of like animals, but not even like the animal psychic, but just, yeah, not really full.
They're like characters. Yeah, they were more like cool supporting subplots almost, like as opposed to a character that you got a lot more like time with and personality with.
Yeah, and this one has one that's like a main character that we are like that is with the main two guys of the romance, you know, like are together with them with the plot.
I've heard that Paladin series is funny. Yeah, T. Kingfisher's humor just works for me in general, so I am looking forward to that series whenever I get to it.
Yeah. Do you think you'll read the Sword Heart sequel after not liking Sword Heart? Or because I don't know, it's coming out this year.
Right. Is it I've been so out of the loop with like new releases. Is it like a direct sequel or is it like a companion book or what?
I don't know. If it would be nice if it was a companion book. I was gonna see if I look it up what characters it says.
Yeah.
Are in it.
Because if it's a direct sequel, probably not. Because one of the things that I didn't like about Sword Heart was unfortunately like the main characters.
Oh, so it looks like not the same characters. It's another person that's trapped in a sword. Like, you know how there were like multiple.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the others that was trapped, and the person that gets him out of the sword is Learned Edmund, which wasn't that one of the characters from Clock Tower?
Yes.
What? Oh now gosh. I'm excited about it.
Okay, now I do want to read it. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be. It sounds like maybe it'll be a queer romance. At least, like in the, it doesn't necessarily say that in the description, but in the like, you know, Goodreads when it talks about like fantasy romance, whatever, it says queer as one of those. So I think the queer romance.
I do like Edmund.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of Edmund coming back, so that's exciting.
I know. Well, that's cool.
All right. Well, I wondering if we should do another sprint because I can't probably do too much longer because I gotta do dinner with the kids later. So
yes, let's do another sprint and I can start my new book pick. So it'll be.
Do you want to do till like 15?
Yeah, that sounds good. All right, friends, we are going to sprint until the 15-minute mark, and we will talk to you then.
All right. So did you start that one?
I did, and I just finished the first chapter, so I'm liking it. It's like a very, very confusing jumble of like sci-fi stuff and like fantasy stuff, and there's also some like Irish folklore, and also like the main character is a goblin, but it works. It works. I don't know. I'm liking it so far. We'll see how it goes. So
yeah, that's fun. Trying something new.
Yeah. And it is very different from the Regency fairy tales, which I think is a good thing because I won't be comparing them as much.
Yeah. Had you read her other one, The Witchwood Knot? Is that what's called?
No, I haven't yet. I've been saving it.
Yeah, I didn't know if she's gonna write more in that world. Okay.
Yeah. Have you read that one yet?
No, I have it on my list that I don't know if I'm gonna get to it this year because I have some other like series I want to start, and if she is going to continue in that one, maybe I'll wait a little longer and see if another one's going to come out.
I think it's going to be like the Regency fairy tales where they're companion books. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it would be as crucial to read them close together, but obviously that's up to you. Let's see. Krista read a few pages of Kate and Frida and uploaded some videos to be edited this weekend. Nice. I also need to do some video things. Yeah, so the one I was just starting, Kelly helped me choose right before our last sprint, A Matter of Execution by Nicholas and Olivia Atwater. It's like the prequel novella to a new series that Olivia Atwater is writing with her husband, and I love Olivia Atwater's Regency fairy tale series, but I haven't read anything else by her. And I think her husband, this is his first book as well. I think. I don't know for sure. But it's definitely the first one that they've done together. And it's very different vibe. But I'm liking it so far. There's a lot going on. First chapter was an escape from a wrongful execution. So really hit the ground running. But yeah, I like the characters so far. So,
well, it's short. They got to get started right away.
I know, yeah. And it is such a short novella. Like, I think it really is intended as like just kind of a sampling of like the world and the characters and stuff like that. Yeah.
The only issue with like starting the Witchwood Knot in that series, if she's going to write others, I know they would be companions, but I felt like with the Half a Soul, the third book had so many characters that were from the first book
that's true.
It was kind of nice having read them within like a year of each other so that I would remember all those other characters.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
Oh, you have to read Half a Soul.
It's so good, Krista. It's so good. Yeah, we both love that one. And yeah, it is part of a series. Like Kelly was just saying, the third book is the one that has more continuity from the first one. Like there are characters that return. But each book follows a different main character and main relationship. So they're connected, but not traditional sequels.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like them.
Yeah, I just thought that was interesting. That third one had so many of this. Like the second one didn't have as much character overlap.
Right.
But the third one really had a lot of character overlap.
Yeah. I guess because like the third one, it doesn't read like it depends on you remembering a lot from the first book. It's just like, yeah, you'll care about some of these characters a lot more if you already know them.
Yeah.
And like I'm somebody who, if I am interested in a series overall, I want to read them in order anyway. So it wasn't like, it didn't make a big difference for me, but yeah.
So we'll see if I get to that one. I don't know. I've got a lot. Speaking of editing videos, I was editing videos this weekend that I did post my December wrap up, but then I have my like goals for 2026 that I filmed and edited. I think I only edited one of them. So hopefully those go up. And those like if I were to read everything that were in those videos, because I have like series books I want to read and then like 26 books to read in 26, that's already a lot of books. So
yeah.
I have to be careful about how much I say I'm going to read this year. But it was really interesting because in that one of those, I was like talking about how I don't want to make it an official goal, but kind of one of my goals would be to, I bought too many books last year. And so like this year to calm down the amount of books I read or I buy and to read enough of my books that like I have more books on my shelf that I have read than not read. Like I don't, yeah, I don't need to get down to like, I'm never going to be down to a 0 TBR. That's just not the person I am. But to have more read. And so then I ended up going through and counting all my books and which ones I had read and not. And right now I'm at 40% read. Or 47.
So that's like 11%. That seems like a comfortable goal, maybe.
Yeah, if I just increase.
Yeah. Are a lot of the books that you have for like series and like your 26 books, are a lot of those ones that you own?
Yeah, they're all ones I own. I only picked
well, good.
One book. So if I read all of those, then I will definitely get up to like probably 55-60%.
Yeah. Cool.
As long as
I'm a big fan of having like secret goals. What was that, Kelly?
As long as I don't buy too many more, because then that
yeah. I know. Yeah, I at least haven't been buying a ton of books lately, but like I haven't been reading much, but at least I haven't been like overbalancing the other way. But yeah, I don't think I've even set my official Goodreads goal yet because I don't know. I'm in such a weird like place right now. It's like I don't know what is like a good number for me right now. Like not that it's a huge deal if I don't meet it. Like last year, I think I did decrease my goal for the first time because again, just such a weird year. But I haven't really thought about what I'm gonna do for this year because it's nice to have something to shoot for, and it's also nice to get the stats. So
yeah. I actually haven't set a Goodreads goal in a few years because once I started working, I just like like going from being a stay-at-home mom to working changed a lot of like the amount I read.
It's such a different schedule. Thanks for hanging out, Krista. I hope you enjoy your dinner, and it was great having you. Yeah, it's like any big change like that where it's like you have such a massive like schedule shift or like any big change like that makes sense. And I think that's a really like normal, like the ebb and flow of like how much you're reading or like how much time you spend on it. Like I think that's really normal as well. I think one reason it's been feeling so weird to me to be in this like weird headspace right now is that hasn't happened to me for quite a while. So I need to get used to the idea again of like, okay, sometimes I'm just not going to be reading as much and that's fine. So
it's like weird because I used to read a lot of audiobooks because when I was like a stay-at-home mom, I was like, you know, when you're cleaning, when you're transporting to different places, like when they were, I mean, I would read a lot more middle grade and kids stuff because we would have that on in the car. So that counts as like books read, but we don't like, my commute is less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm not commuting. I'm not like driving the kids like long distances where we're listening to audiobooks. Like my oldest and I still try to listen to audiobooks regularly because if we switch off who puts the kids to bed, and if my husband's putting the youngest to bed, then we have like an hour before the oldest goes to bed. So we like listen to an audiobook. But that's like the only time that she and I have to listen to an audiobook because we're not driving long distance. Like we're not living in the country. Everything is within 10 minutes. So
yeah, which is nice, but just like really different.
Yeah. It used to be that it was 18 minutes to go to the grocery store. So I could like going there and back, I could listen 40 minutes of a audiobook. But now I live like 4 blocks from the grocery store, so I'm not listening to audiobooks going there. So it just is a change in when to read, when like
yeah. Or like sometimes like just adjusting to like reading in smaller increments versus like having like I guess that's kind of what I'm doing right now is like I'm reading more sporadically and like in smaller like pockets of time, like between other things. And that's different, but that doesn't mean it's bad, you know, like so that. Yeah.
Yeah. So just getting used to it. And you know, if you're doing other hobbies, like now picking up knitting, I thought picking up knitting, it was like, oh, this is something I can do while listening to books. But since I'm not a great knitter yet, like I have to concentrate more. And then I
newer, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's also like I have been knitting for a long time and there are still plenty of projects where I'm like, all right, this is I have to pay attention to, you know? So yeah, I think that's totally normal as well. Yeah, actually there's like a couple of puzzles that I was gifted for Christmas that I really am excited to do. So maybe that can be my audiobook time. Be good. So
yeah, I should do that. I have some newer puzzles that I haven't gotten out. Part of it is like usually the only place I can do a puzzle is at our kitchen table, so I kind of have to do it like all in one go.
Yeah.
Big ones. But we did recently put a card table out in our sunroom, and it for the intention that we were gonna do puzzles, especially since my daughter got some puzzles for Christmas, like some smaller ones. But so maybe I need to like sit out there and do a puzzle.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say like my cats have taken it over. I was like prepared for that. Like,
yeah, no, I'd be like, I know, but like, yeah.
I have the same thing where it's like hard to find a more permanently clear space to do it. But actually my mom and my sister gifted me a like puzzle easel type thing. So that should hopefully be a lot easier now. Which is nice. Cool. Yeah.
Yep.
So and it just makes happy little chemicals in my brain, you know, putting pieces together, make brain go.
Yep. Yeah, this is like part of why I like the short stack readathon too, because I feel like I like to read long books, but it feels like when you read a long book, you need more time to sit and absorb into the story. Where if you're reading a short novel, only reading for 20 minutes feels like you get more into it. You can read more of it. Where if it's a 600-page book, man, that's a lot of 20-minute increments that you're going to take to get through that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's been a really, really good boost to the year. And I'm thinking, I'm like looking at some of my shelves right now and I'm like, oh, there's like a graphic novel I could read this month that I'm excited for. I have like a couple of short nonfiction. So yeah, I'm excited. And like just being excited about picking out books is also exciting.
Yeah, I mean, even if you don't get to them all, like just looking. Oh, I was going to show you this. So this is what I got my daughter for Christmas. Have you heard of this?
I don't.
Dragons?
Maybe. It sounds vaguely familiar, but I'm not sure.
It's a Anne of Green Gables retelling with dragons. You know, like kindred spirits,
yes. Oh, that sounds adorable.
So I had brought it because I was thinking of reading it because she's already read it and she said it was good. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to read that because it sounds really cute.
Yeah, that does sound really cute. I'm excited to hear how that is.
Yeah, because I'm like, Anne of Green Gables, but they're oh my gosh. So this is like the very beginning. So this is them instead of being in the carriage, they're actually riding a dragon to get to the house.
So cute.
So
is it a graphic novel?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's a graphic novel. It looks pretty sparse, so I feel like the story will read really fast. So I'm interested to see if this is like the whole story of Anne of Green Gables or if it'll be like end up being a series to get through the whole book, because I don't feel like you could fit the entire Anne of Green Gables story in this like one graphic novel.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a lot. Well, that sounds adorable.
Yeah. So
Keep me
hopefully,
posted.
yeah, I'll let you know if it's good. So you could like look it up.
Yeah, that's so cute.
I haven't been hearing a lot of recommendations about graphic novels lately, but my oldest is just really getting into them. So I kind of just wander the bookstore, and because even the people that work at the bookstore don't always have like middle grade graphic novel experience. So I just kind of like wander around, pick stuff up, look at it, and like, oh, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, because we just took her to see Anne of Green Gables a couple months ago.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, that sounds really cute, and it's already been approved by your daughter. So
yeah. So but she also like, it's so funny. I give her like, for her birthday, Christmas, she gets like a graphic novel, and she reads it basically in one sitting. And I'm like, did you even look at the pictures, really?
I know. Did you process the art? Did you? Yeah.
And I'm like, I probably shouldn't be like deciding how you read something, but I'm like, part of the point of a graphic novel is you sit with the pictures.
Yeah. That's funny.
But she and I read, I had gotten her Moth Keeper, because you read Moth Keeper, right?
Yeah.
I gotten her that a couple Christmases ago, and she read it like in, I swear it was like 10 minutes. And then I was like, I want to read it. Do you want to sit next to me to read it? And you could just feel it in her body. She's like, turn the page, turn the page. I'm like, no, I am enjoying the pictures.
Let me enjoy.
Yeah. Like, this is the point. And then that one, there's hardly any words. Like that one is like very picture forward of like the story is in the pictures, and then like sitting with the pictures. So we have very different styles of how we read.
Yeah. It sounds like maybe she wants like the novel part and not so much the graphic part.
Yeah, which is silly, because when I give her a novel, then she's like, oh, it's too much, it's too many words. I'm like, well, make up your mind.
Yeah. Maybe she's figuring out her taste, her like that balance of like
She's definitely an audiobook fan. Like she devours audiobooks. So I'm like, whatever. It's still getting stories in your head, getting
it's still
interested.
reading.
Yeah, so that's fine. And we do like still get her books to read physically, and the one she has to read for school have to be physical. So I'm like, okay, she's still reading physical books, but she's learning the love of reading through audiobooks as well.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I am approaching dinner time.
Yes.
And so I think I should probably go soon to find out what we're doing with the kids tonight. It snowed a lot the last couple of days. So, but we have not gone grocery shopping. So I'm like, do I just dig something out of the freezer, or do I brave the snow?
Yeah. Well, keep warm, whatever you do.
Yeah.
And we'll go ahead and call the sprints here. We might, I know we talked about maybe doing another one later in the month, so we might be doing that. But yeah, we'll see. So do you want to sign us off, Kelly, since you are the creator of the Readathon?
Yeah, sure. Hopefully you all enjoyed reading with us, and anybody that joins us later to watch it back later. And you can, sounds like Kara put my information in her box, so you can check out what we have in the future and our wrap-ups whenever we like make them for what we read this month. And if we do another sprint, we'll put it up probably last minute. So.
Yes, that's kind of our thing. Sorry, like it's like instead of a pop-up shop, it's pop-up reading sprints. Like you never know where we're gonna be, but
we might just appear. All right.
So, thank you guys.
Yeah. Bye.